I know you don't have a lot of time, but like I said, I had my website built this past year
Oh
uh,
yeah.
in July, August timeframe.
Cool.
Um, wasn't too thrilled,
Ah,
uh, and it was very quickly put together. And coming to find out, talking to other professionals, are like, yeah, we use Squarespace, and
okay.
she used Squarespace, and it was more of a template kind of setup. It works, but I've gone through and I've changed so much wording, so much stuff, got rid of the clutter
Sure.
shit, and trying to speak to the customers. My biggest thing is, as you go on our website, is a picture of our truck sitting in front of a vet clinic, and there's so much wording in that picture that I
Oh
need
yeah.
to clean. Um,
Do you have it up in front of you there? Do you want to share your screen?
I have it on my other computer, so
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but I can do a share screen on this. I'm not technologically able on some stuff.
That's all right.
Let's
I
see
can pull
here.
it up on my side too. Let me see here. What's your web address?
See if I can do this. Here we go.
Oh, you got it. There you go. There you go.
Did I do it? Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
So,
So is this the
you
top of
see,
the site?
you see everything I'm seeing, or is
I think
there?
so. I see the column on the left there.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So basically that's what I got. I changed it before. It was the just says call now with no phone number in the top corner. So I
Oh,
added in the phone number because
yeah.
you got to click through to go find a phone number. I mean, you're losing somebody already. So
Right.
I'm a person, at least. I just grab my phone. Okay, there's a number. Call them and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Uh,
One of the things I always have people do when they think about like the top of the web page, like the above the fold on the home
yeah.
page, is we have them do the grunt test. So if you were to set your laptop in the lap of a caveman,
Yeah.
opened up the laptop for 5 seconds and closed it, could that caveman sort of grunt out what you offer, how it makes that caveman's life better, and how to start, how to get it? And if I were to do that test just really quickly, just for myself, because I'm caveman like, I got a beard. What I initially, like, if I didn't know you at all, if somebody sat down and said, "Hey, what was this website about?" I immediately went to, you're either selling trucks or veterinary services. But I know that it'll be good. I can trust that it's going to work out. I do love that you have a call to action in the top right corner. Like that is perfect because your eye is going to go in a Z pattern. Your eye will go from the top left corner first, and then eye is going to sweep across, and that top right corner is the most valuable real estate on your whole site. So the
Uh-huh.
fact that you have a call to action that's direct right there, great.
I shrunk my logo down. It used to be like blaring in your face, night owl, and like no one cares about me. They care about them and
Yeah,
what they're trying to find their. I'm understanding. I also have talked with you probably know Jonathan Little.
I don't know Jonathan Little yet.
He used to be part of our group, and he's
Okay.
a branding. He does everything, and he gave me a big package price of like $35,000 to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
whole every. I'm like, that's out of my price range. So, but I got a lot of tips from him. He reviewed my website and talked about various things, and I made changes based on his recommendations. He gave me some free advice, which
Good.
is great.
Hey, get as much of that as you can. Totally.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so the biggest thing is I got to change out this picture. I want to make a good picture of a side by side of a floor. And
That'd be clear.
right in the middle, what I like to take the call to action and put that right in the middle of it, which I'm
I
not
like
sure if
to do
that's
I like to do both. So I like to have a main call to action like on what they call the hero section of the web page, which is this top photo. I love to see a button there that's a call to action, and then also in the top right corner.
okay.
Put it both places. Like, don't be afraid to have lots of call to action buttons throughout the whole thing. Like, you don't want to have anybody have to scroll to find what you want them to do.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and for the image, yeah, side by side floor can work really well. Even just, I often will do an aspirational sort of identity thing up there. So what I mean by that is showing your hero client having made the transformation, enjoying their new space, and just really enjoying the life after the project's over.
yeah.
And have, of course, a beautiful floor there. But something like that would work really well. For the actual words that are on here, go one of either way. So If it was, and you have floor services in your logo, it's quite small, so it's a little bit hard to read. If the tagline quality floor care is our specialty, so you have it in the logo there a bit, which isn't too bad. So if you have it, if the business is really obvious what the business name or what it does based on the name of the business, then you can be a little bit more creative with the words that are on the top of the page. If it's like this, I mainly see night owl. I definitely know I'm talking to you, and I can see that there's like the square tile sort of shape as part of the logo. But if it just says night owl on a first scan, because people don't read websites, they scan them.
Yeah.
I would want to make the words on the top be just super obvious, like of a flooring specialist you're gonna love or whatever. But like say it right in the words, like flooring is what we do, right in the copy on the top of the page. And I would recommend that for you just because if it was, um, if the logo showed flooring services larger, or if it was just like abundantly clear based on the name of the logo that it's clearly a flooring company, you could do something else. But I wouldn't get too cute with it or poetic. I would just, um, the flooring expertise you can trust. Just add the word flooring in there, and it's just going to make it that much more clear.
Okay.
Yeah, you did the classic thing that everybody does, which is they want to put their building or their truck or their team on the top of the page. It's like, what does that have to do with your hero winning? They don't
Yeah.
care about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I realized that after talking with Jonathan Little and then another
Yeah,
person, and it's kind of like, yeah, I was kind of guided using the trucks based on, I guess, some guy, my one of my employees was engaged to a gal that her father or grandfather is an instructor down in Eugene at the college, and
mhm,
so he's recommended putting our trucks on the front, so that way it shows we're a fleet, we're not a small little one-time guy.
I see.
That was kind of the concept.
Yep.
Um, and so what I wanted to do was do one of two things, or a side-by-side photo of a floor, or put the trucks in front of a professional building
Mm,
and
mm,
take photos out there, get professional photos. I do have, I'll click over here, before I even scroll down, I'm gonna click over to the before and afters.
mm,
I have that as my before and afters. So at least shows
mhm.
some before and after stuff.
Yep.
Um,
I
I
think.
had a lot more, and I even had a widget on the last website I had where you could take and slide it back and forth and see the old floor and the new
Oh,
floor
that's fun.
overlapping
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. I
Um,
like those.
I lost that with the new website. The gal was like, "Oh, we don't have that kind of information." So
Yeah.
it
Those are
just,
always fun, but not a necessarily a need.
yeah,
But yeah, I would definitely steer you away because you could end up it'd be one of those areas where you could just waste a ton of money. Like you could go have professional photos get all the trucks cleaned, professional photos taken, the whole thing, and you put it on there, and it's like, well, I don't know. It doesn't really it makes you guys like look at our heroic fleet of we're gonna come and save the day, as
yeah,
opposed to making it about the customer and what they really care about.
yeah.
So I think yeah, save the money there, do a good image.
Let's
I
scroll
like.
down.
Oh yeah, scroll up. There's one more thing on the top.
Yeah,
We might consider doing. I like that you have all of your nav menu stuff on the top left, but
yeah,
you might consider pulling it out of there and just putting it in the footer. It seems really important, but in reality, like why compete with what you want them to click on the top of the page? You want them to just call now, or you want them to book an appointment. I would say all the rest of that stuff, they'll scroll to find contact us or service. They'll scroll to find any of that stuff if you put it at the footer. But if
yeah.
the top is just clean and like it's clear what you want them to do, which is call, you might find you'll get more conversions with that.
I think
Uh,
with the template, it's kind of like it's like this, or we put a logo over here, or
uh,
so it was like only a 3 or 4 options we had
okay.
where it can
Yeah.
go. So it's just a template.
If
So
you were gonna choose, I mean, at least you have them all off to one side and they're away from that call to action on the top right. So that's cool.
yeah, yeah. And as I scroll down, I was told, pick out 3 things that kind of can stand out to your customers. And so
Hmm.
our medical facilities can be anything. We do 60 plus veterinary hospitals. So that's why I parked in front of a vet hospital.
Yeah, I see.
We also do dental offices. We'll do medical buildings, medical offices, any kind of
Mm.
medical. So that's just a medical thing in general.
And do you
Food
find
service.
yourself mainly working with businesses as opposed to residential? Looks
I
that
don't
way.
do any residential. No residential.
Oh, so I would put yeah, I would put like commercial flooring expertise or whatever you want to have at the top of the banner. But yeah, I would make it really clear that you're right aimed right at the commercial
Okay.
in that language at the top.
Okay. And then just food service, of course, restaurants and food production facilities. We do one small production facility, and then commercial
These
buildings, just
these are
because
all commercial buildings, aren't they? So what I would do is I'd
I'm
put
trying to show a
commercial
commercial.
buildings as like the main headline, and then I would might list like 3 types of commercial buildings just below it.
Okay.
So I'd have like commercial buildings real big at the top, and then maybe, left column be medical facilities, center column be food service, right column be uh, gas stations, or whichever one is you're looking for most that
Okay.
seem to resonate. But that opens up one more option for you, and because they're all commercial buildings, really. So
To make like a in this section, make it a 3 sections
yeah,
of those headings, and then
uh,
list in smaller print certain things, but it grabs the attention.
yeah, I like doing that because it does give you a lot of keywords and a lot of opportunity for search there by having those kind of like 3 columns of all the types they'll do. But yep, and then have commercial buildings real big at the top.
And that was based on the again the template of this website. I was basing on how they do things, and I'm not technically knowledgeable, and I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And cost is an issue because COVID killed business like
Oh my
last
gosh.
year. But
Yeah.
we're making it. We were thank God we're only down 1%.
Wow. You must have worked hard for that.
Well, we worked our asses off, and we
Good.
pushed for it. And yeah, well, I didn't work. My guys worked, but I pushed
Well,
to
all of you as a team. Yeah.
feed it to them. Scrolling down here, I've got our floor services, the various services of flooring, and I
Mhm.
put that in there for people who understand their floors, what they have, and some people are like, "Yeah, I just want my floors cleaned." They don't know what they have. That's fine, but
Yeah.
there's guys who will have an ESD flooring. That's a very specific floor, and you got to treat it very specifically with certain products so they know what kind of floor they have in an MRI room or in a electrostatic sensitive area.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
just listed the services and floorings there. Scrolling down, this picture I want gone. I want changed out.
Yeah.
I don't know why she used it, but I got to figure out how to put a new picture in. I'm
Yeah.
figuring it out.
You'll get there.
But
Yeah.
getting to a why user company and making it about them and their time is valuable. They're
Yeah.
have somebody trust. Biggest thing is having somebody having the key to their building, middle of the night in a medical building or in a restaurant or somewhere in somebody's building at night, and you gotta trust them. I mean, I can send you all the referrals, but you gotta feel trusting of that person. So
Mhm.
various things. Our tagline that we started using, we love it when we walk on our reputation, and I listed off all of our showed a bunch of our big names that we
Great.
work for.
Yeah. That's
Pretty
one of your strongest parts of your site there. Just really good as a guide, you need empathy and authority. So that just speaks to the authority right there really well.
And I put way down here the 30 years of serving the community. I didn't want to put it at the very top. It's all about me, 30 years of experience.
Right.
Scroll
Right.
down here, you'll find out that I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. That's where the guide enters the story.
and toward the bottom, one of my biggest customers wrote a review on us, and then that's our normal contact information at the bottom with our Google at the bottom to be able to click onto that to go to the
Yeah.
write a review. So that's where I've come from. A change of where a lot of let's go to the about a lot of this was just paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. I mean, it was all
Nobody,
around. I'm like,
I guarantee nobody ever read it except for like your aunt or something.
yeah, just a friend who read it just because.
Yeah.
And the about, we put some of the name brand, the floorings and the products and things we use is all in there. Just kind of speaks to the logos at least and our reviews.
Yeah, good.
It breaks at that. And
That's
then,
the sneaky thing about us is you want to really make it about the customer still. And so
Yeah.
everything like that is about you or that's part of your story, always keep tying it back to like, why does that matter to the customer? How does that make it so that clearly they need to do business with you?
Yeah. And then then the very last, the one bigger one is more of the different services we do. If you know about floors and you want to know that, hey, this guy does know what he's talking about because he has it listed there. That's what I did on that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I give away. Here's my free page, tips to know. So I give people something free to look at,
Good.
how to care for things. So I'm trying to give something to at least say, hey, he knows what he's talking about, with them getting some value out of looking at this website.
Yeah, I could see you having just like a one-page PDF of just, that the 6 what are the most of the tips about here? Make sure that your floor transmits. Mopping, yeah, that the 6 things most people wish they knew that ruin floors, or that that the 6 things to make your floor last longer, sort of a deal, or to stretch the life of your floor, so that when I like that one because it's sort of like the people that are kind of worried about it or that seeing some age on their floor know that they need to do it soon, but they need to get a few more business cycles through or a few more seasons out of it. They'll be kind of looking for ways to sort of prolong the life of it.
Yeah.
But something that you can get some email addresses for, because it's good to give this away, but it'd be great to get that email address so that you can send them that 1-page PDF. And then you've got their email address. You can of course nurture them and let them know about any sort of specials you got coming up, or basically send. I usually try to have them get the resource and then get 2 or 3 emails at least from you over the course of the next week to give them some more value, let them know you exist, and then give them an opportunity to go ahead and call you and do business with you in that third 30 email.
Okay.
So I would definitely think about incorporating some of these tips, throwing them onto a 1-page PDF, either having a friend or a graphic designer throw it into Canva or something and make it look nice, and have something that's you're aiming for a worth of like $10 or $15. Like if they feel like this thing they're getting is worth 10 or 15 bucks, then they'll probably put their email address in there and not mind. You might even get their real email address and not their like spammy one.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do with that piece of it. And I think for you, the main thing is probably that homepage. I mean, realistically, the amount people are going to click around through the site is minimal.
Yeah.
If you can get them in that first top half of the homepage and get them to dial that number, that's for the real aim, probably.
No, I've done the analytics on this, looked at what's happened so far. Usually it's the home page, and they might go to the services page, and I don't see anybody clicking to the before and afters just yet, but it's a new website. It's still being learned by Google, and
Oh, sure. Yeah. What's on the services page again? Show me what that looks like.
there's this one. So just kind of listing the stripping, refinishing,
Uh-huh.
information about it. People who have had floor guys, they came in, they strip and refinish their floors, and there's the biggest thing is the common mistakes and splashes and splatters. They get all over the furniture and the walls, the cabinets. I've had people tell me, they say, I don't want wax on my walls. Well, it's not wax. It's
Right.
the stripper from the machine spinning. And so I know what I'm talking about. And so I try to put that information for those who know what they're asking for.
I love that it's got a problem. Like if that's a common problem and you hear it all the time, I would put that at the top here. Instead of it saying floor stripping and refinishing, I would say, never get splatters or splashes on your walls. Like literally call out the thing that people complain about or that is the pain point.
Oh,
And
sure.
then go
Okay.
through and explain it.
Okay.
Because
I like that.
otherwise, most people probably won't want to have read this paragraph because there's not a problem. Like as soon as they see a problem, their brain wants to figure out how do you solve it.
Gotcha.
I would just call that problem right at the top there. And that's really like, yeah, I would use that. Like that's probably one of the main, if people really talk about that, and one of the main ways that you're different. I like calling out the problem pretty early on. Like, I don't know, like even so, if you go back to your homepage, what I often will do for content sections is I'll do a hero at the top of the homepage that's sort of aspirational. And then right below the homepage top section there, if you scroll down just a little bit, there's where I hit them with the problem or a problem. The main one that they're going to care about, because it opens up the story loop. It gets them to scroll further down the page. And the problem might be that, most commercial floor businesses make a mess of your walls. And then like a little explanatory little sentence below it that talks about how you don't do that, and then get to your services. So it's sort of like what you'd like your life to be, but it ain't that way now. But here's how we can make it that way. And the only thing I hadn't seen on here as a content section you might consider is giving people some stones in the creek to cross over. And what I mean by that is like a plan or like 3 steps that they can take. Because if you can imagine sort of getting someone to cross a river to go fishing on the other side, and they're like, no way, I'm walking. There's all that rushing water in the rapids. I'm not going over there. Like, no, look, there's this rock here. We're gonna go there, and then we're gonna step onto that rock and then jump over to the other side. No problem. Watch, I'll do it. And you can invite them along, and they'll probably go. It's that stones in the creek and letting them know, hey, first we're gonna, whatever your process is, first we're gonna take a look at the floors and assess whether they are, worth saving or whether they can be, can be serviced. And then we're going to go ahead and do the work and get it done nice and clean, and make it sure that your space isn't damaged. And then the third step is you enjoy your like new floor or your flooring finally. But giving them that sort of picture or that 3-step plan essentially gives them, it clears the air enough, the fog enough where they take that step forward, where they're like, okay, this isn't, I see what they're going to do. We do this, this, and then this. Seems easy. And they go ahead and take the step. You'll see this all over the place now. Like you'll even see it on like you walk the aisle for like box of Pop-Tarts, and there'll be one that's just like 3 steps to make a Pop-Tart. Stick it in, heat it up, enjoy the Pop-Tart. I guarantee they sell more Pop-Tarts than anybody else because they have a plan just really clearly written on there. So if you could add, if there was any section or thing to add in there on the homepage, it would be 1, 2, 3. Here's how to work with us.
So call.
Yep.
Estimate. Floor is done. I guess it'd be a 4 because now they're enjoying it.
Well, that's a good question. You can go as many as 4. Try to keep it to 3. Psychologically, 3 steps. We just remember things in 3s, and the brain just loves it. 4, you get pretty good retention and engagement with 4. At 5 steps, it plummets. Same thing with options. The same reason we have 3 things here on the screen, and that advice is right. So keep it to 3 if you can. So maybe it's estimate. What were the 4 steps you mentioned?
They would call.
Yeah, call.
Then they would get an estimate.
Yeah.
Schedule the job, and then the 4th step would be enjoying the work. So that's what.
Yeah.
So the really 3 steps.
I would combine the 2 middle ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Call. You're going to get an estimate and scheduled right away. And then 3rd is you enjoy your floor, and that just creates another really great opportunity for another call to action button. So like right below that, it's like, or I have the phone number right below that. And so it's like, well, 1st step, 2nd step, 3rd step. And look, there's the 1st step right there. Just do it.
Okay. So I can bump this section. I can add a section between the top page and this medical facility a section, and bump that down a section, and then add another one. So add one in between that says what we just talked about.
I would put it just below this section I'm seeing here with the medical facilities, food service.
Okay, put it down.
And then you can expand on each of the services below that, and that's fine. But it sort of gives them at the top, it'll be like commercial buildings, and it'll show those 3 types of commercial buildings or 3 types of services, and then put the plan right in there so they can say, hey, they know what my problem is. And look, they help people like me. Oh, and here's their plan. Cool. And then if they want even more detail than that, they can keep scrolling and see more detail on the services and whatever else you got on that homepage.
Okay.
Yeah, I would put that right in there. It's helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, make
cool.
a note of that.
I'll implement. Appreciate your free advice. I don't want to take up your time. And we had 15 minutes scheduled.
Yeah, you're good. I got to jump off here to do my 12:30, but hopefully it was helpful and you take it and run with it. If you make some of the changes or you get it going on, send me a message. I'd love to check it out and see what you did or check your progress as you move along.
I will, Paul. I appreciate your help, and
of course.
I'm glad I heard your presentation at the Mindshare. So
yeah, I'm so glad you're able to take something away from it and yeah, make this happen for yourself, man. Your website will do so much better, and it's not going to cost you much to make these changes. It's going to be easy.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, buddy. Good luck.
We'll talk soon.
All righty.
Bye now.